A championship is much more than just a belt around one's waist. It's a milestone. The reward for reaching a point on a path that included countless days of blood, sweat, tears, and pain. While others enjoy a weekend with friends and family, a champion is in the gym recognizing his weaknesses and experiencing the pains to overcome them. Finding the limitations of their body, then driving themselves far beyond that point with their dedication. It's not easy. It's not fun. When a champion's mind screams stop, his heart says win.
He's 3-4 as a professional, 29 years old, and stands 5 feet, 6 feet, 5 inches tall. He weighed in at 196 and 1/2 pounds from Macwest, Alberta, Canada. Fighting out of the Meridian Booster blue corner, he is Taylor Ball. And his opponent, he's 5'11" and 2 as a professional, 36 years old, and stands 5 feet, 11 inches tall. He weighed in at 196 pounds, fighting from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. Fighting out of the red corner for Holiday Inn Express, he is Gary Hocus Pocus Kopas. This bout will be contested under professional rules. The referee in charge is Mr. Claude Cousson.
Last minute referee instructions before this title fight. This is for the CPBC Western Canadian Cruiserweight Champion.
Two very different body types here, Jay. You've got the very tall, very lanky Taylor Bull with a significant reach advantage over Gary Kopas. A little bit more of a fire hydrant type of build. I asked Taylor before the fight if he was planning to fight tall, keep Gary at the end of his jab, and try to time him coming in with the right hand. He said he had a surprise in store for Gary, didn't want to elaborate.
Well, a lot of guys don't want to elaborate on their game plan, but you know what? At the end of the day, as I've said before, that game plan only means so much when you get and step inside these 4 posts. Gary's looking methodical. This man looks very, very determined here. You know, Taylor's doing a good job at moving around and making Gary chase him a little bit. I wonder if that's part of that game plan.
Could be. You'll see Gary bending down as he goes into a punch. He's been working out in a new gym, and he's been emphasizing more of a Muay Thai style and actually trying to fight more like Mike Tyson did in his prime. Bending down, coming in with body shots followed by uppercuts, and really trying to take advantage actually of being the shorter man to maximize his power.
You know, one thing that we know about Mike Tyson is that incredible head movement that he has, and I know that's something that Gary really wants to show in this fight.
Oh!
Knocked down, Gary Kopas goes down. Taylor Bull getting instructions from his corner to keep breathing.
That was more of a flash knockdown, Jay. It looked like he caught Gary coming in off balance and was able to put him down. Gary doesn't look hurt, but he's got to be unhappy with that, with going down so early in the fight.
Well, he loaded up that right for sure. I think he's a little bit upset with how what transpired, but he's going to get his head back in the game and come in here and put on a show.
Taylor looking very comfortable so far behind that jab.
Definitely working it, not much on it. I think he's just using it for distance, keeping Gary back, but Gary coming in from some serious power. Swing and a miss with that right hand from Gary. Again, great movement by Taylor Bull to keep him away. Really using that that reach and the lack of reach, if you will, for Gary Kopas and using that to his advantage.
Gary's trying to search and destroy. He's been doing a lot of searching so far, certainly. Trying to having some success in getting Taylor on the ropes there, trying to land his own shots.
You know, Gary's really keeping those hands up, making sure that he's not going to get tagged. Taylor's got a little bit more of a wild style, if you will. He's got his hands down a little bit. You can definitely tell he's got an MMA background, a little bit more unorthodox than your traditionalist boxer. Trying to pick those shots, get those holes.
He's actually fighting in kind of a crouching style, which is not really maximizing his height advantage to full advantage. That said, though, a very solid round for Taylor Bull.
36 years old, you know, Gary Kopas, a young 36 as he describes it, but you know, he's saying he's feeling really good with you know, his preparation for this fight, you know, especially coming in against a younger guy, Taylor Bull, 29 years old.
Gary's conditioning seems very, very sound so far. You know, certainly endurance and strength hasn't been a matter. It's just been a matter of him getting in, finding the range, and being able to land his shots. Landed a good right hand on Taylor there. Taylor's got a very, very herky-jerky style with kind of an awkward rhythm. He's difficult to time.
He's got relentlessly coming forward is Gary. I mean, he's taking the shots, but he's really trying to come in and close that gap. But the movement by Taylor Bull is really preventing him from having a real strong exchange.
And Gary's really trying to following him around as opposed to cutting off the ring. He needs to be able to do that a little bit more effectively to try to get Taylor on the ropes and begin to land his shots.
That smile from Taylor with Gary's left hand that landed there. I think he felt that one a little bit, but doesn't look too phased.
That was an excellent shot from Gary.
Really trying to use those multiple jabs as Taylor. I mean, we know we obviously see the reach, but those double jabs, those triple jabs, if you will, really are throwing off a bit of the timing by Gary. Great right hand by Gary.
Taylor's defense mostly consists in just moving backwards and making Gary look for him and making him pay. He's going to need to do a little bit better if Gary begins to figure that out.
Lots of movement by Taylor Bull. I mean, we've got 8 rounds here, so he's definitely spending some energy. You can see that gloss really starting to show on him, and I got to say, Gary looks quite dry still. You know, I think he's probably saving a bit in his gas tank, which I know is going to come from his experience.
Gary definitely came in preparing for a long to go the distance in this fight. He's looking very comfortable, not winded at all. Really just trying to think about the best way to get to Taylor Bull.
Great exchange.
Excellent lead right hand from Gary. And Taylor's beginning to feel the back of the ropes. Gary's beginning to get a little bit better at cutting off the ring and getting to him. That said, Taylor came forward very well in that exchange.
Gary's doing a great job of blocking those shots, though. He's using that elbow to block the body shot, getting those hands up to brush off the strikes to the head. And, you know, I think that's going to help him keep this the damage down so he can keep the pace up.
Well, he landed an excellent right hand. He's beginning, you know, he's finding the target. He just needs to be able to do it with more regularity.
Great
coming forward.
Oh!
Was that a slip or was that a knockdown?
Yeah, ref's
Gary unsure himself. The referee needs to take control of the situation. Administering a count.
And that ends the round. Taylor was able to come out, face a man of that experience, that size, that power, and get the win. And so he's no stranger to the power of the striking, and you know, I think that's going to really show in this round.
Well, Taylor felt that he was coming into this fight as the underdog, but yeah, I'm not sure, given his experience, given his success in the ring, I'm not sure that was accurate. I think that was more him just using it for motivation.
Gary seems to be fighting with a bit more anger, a bit more aggression this time. Might have been from that knockdown at the very end of the round, but you know, he's got to be careful he doesn't get a little bit wild.
Yeah, he's closing the distance much better. And now you've got Taylor actually moving to his left instead of just steadily going around to his right, which could bring him within the range of Gary's right hand. Could be a very good thing for Kopas.
He's definitely loading up that right hand. I mean, he's doing everything he can with that overhand right to try to connect with Taylor's chin, but just hasn't been successful with a large shot yet.
Well, Gary's got to be very, very concerned. If the judges gave Taylor that first round, he's got a 3-point deficit, and he's finding himself getting into a deeper and deeper hole. He needs to do something to change the momentum here quickly, and he's working to do that right now and having some success.
Good breakaway left hook to the face and straight right.
Excellent left-hand counter from Gary Kopas.
Great right hand, but Taylor Bull just keeps coming forward.
Here
we
they
have
go.
some rock and sock'em robots in here. You can hear the energy. Kopas throwing up his hands to get the crowd into it. These guys are looking to put on a show for this title.
Gary's taking Taylor's shots very, very well.
Gary tying him up, getting a bit of a rest. Really loading up that right hand every time. He just comes in and he's just throwing so much behind it. He's got to be careful he doesn't get gassed from that.
Taylor ducked under that initial lead left that Gary threw, but then Gary caught him with everything else. He's having a fantastic round, really turning the tide in this fight. Taylor's cut over his right eye, and it's not in a good place, Jay.
No, that's a danger of closing up that eye and affecting the vision, but you know, we've got some phenomenal corner men in this sport and some great cut men. They're going to do their best to keep that thing open.
That eye is that cut is deep. You're really seeing a momentum shift here from Taylor Bull over to Gary Kopas. Taylor Bull bleeding and facing some serious adversity right now. You
can hear the fans in the background screaming and getting really into this fight. And that's just the amazing thing about a small town like Cold Lake. You got some really passionate fans.
They're getting an excellent fight tonight from these two fighters.
Swing and a miss, tied up. Referee separating apart, getting back to the action. Oh, big uppercut by Taylor Bull. Gary felt that one. Oh!
Gary walked into another one and he goes down.
Oh, no knockdown, waved off by the referee.
Taylor Bull's corner very slow getting into the ring to get him on that stool. He needs a rest after that round. Very good round for Gary Kopas.
Fantastic, you know, and it's interesting too. Gary worked a little bit with some MMA guys, and you see some really awkward shots. You know, there's another awkward angle, and you can just see the difference in the style of boxing being shown here.
Fantastic exchange by those two fighters.
You gotta love it when the guys put in the heart and the tenacity.
Yeah.
We're into our fourth round, halfway through this Western Canadian Cruiserweight Championship.
And once again, you had Gary really have a fantastic round and wind up going down anyways. He has got to, you know, he's doing everything he can here. We'll see if he's able to turn things around in round 4.
Well, it appeared to be like the referee waved off that knockdown, right? So he's definitely down to those two knockdowns, and you know, that's going to affect him in the scorecards for sure. But he's really got to impose his will in the second half of this fight.
He just did a big uppercut from Taylor Bull and answered back with a couple of very good shots of his own.
See, the corner of Taylor Bull was able to get that the bleeding at least under control with that mouse. But I mean, a good straight shot to that is gonna open that thing back up and cause him some problems.
Plus, his mouth is hanging open. He's looking a little winded, and his legs are Taylor Bull's legs looking a little bit shaky right now.
Yeah, he looks like he's got that sewing machine leg a little bit. You can see the lactic acid building up in the calf. And, you know, as I said in the first couple of rounds, you saw him with a lot of movement, a lot of head movement, a lot of footwork. And, you know, I think he's paying for it a little bit now. Great shot by Gary Kopas right on the chin. Again with a great counterpunch by Kopas.
Gary was able to block that left uppercut there, but you know, that punch has really been there for Taylor all night. He's had a lot of success with it. Gary Kopas forcing him in the corner.
Pushes him right in the corner. Taylor Bull doing everything he can to get his position back in that ring. Again, Gary closing the gap, pushed him into the corner. He's really starting to show that will and that game plan that he had told us about at the beginning of the action.
He's got Taylor Bull very uncomfortable right now, but Taylor's answering back with punches. Gary's got to be careful or he's going to go down again.
Man, these guys are just throwing everything they have. The tenacity of both these athletes is absolutely phenomenal. Great right hand again by Gary Kopas. On the left, an exchange. He is hitting the button. Taylor Bull is starting to feel these shots. Will he go down, or will he be able to fight through this onslaught?
Taylor Bull's in serious trouble right now. He's not answering back with anything. He's basically just trying to duck out of the way of the punches, and Gary's making him pay for it. Gary's got to be careful because Taylor's coming back with another uppercut, trying to even things up in this round. It's on the table for Gary Kopas right now.
Both of them are exerting a ton of energy. Gary is doing everything to get that knockdown.
Taylor Bull takes a knee.
Down on the knee. Gary Kopas able to turn the tide. Will this be the turning point in this fight?
Taylor Bull's not getting up, Jay.
Standing 8 count, 9. Taylor Bull getting checked up by the referee. Referee going to make the decision. Oh, huge. I think Gary Kopas smells blood.
Taylor Bull's just about done here. It's the proliferation of punches that got him in trouble.
And that's the end of the 4th round. What an unbelievable onslaught that Gary Kopas was able to push forward. And you absolutely cannot knock or disrespect a man like Taylor Bull that was able to take that punishment. I gotta tell you, Davis, I have blood all over my notes coming flying out of that ring. If that is not what combat sports is all about, I just don't know what is.
A real show of blood and guts from Gary Kopas. Let's watch here. So Taylor leaning down, trying to stay out of the way of punches, and Gary making him pay for it. Taylor just answering with nothing. Just looking at the referee, just really waiting for Gary to stop punching, and Gary's not stopping. He's going to keep going here.
Both fighters are definitely a little bit tired moving here into this 5th round, but it's all about digging deep and pulling out the shots.
I'm not sure that minute was nearly long enough for Taylor Bull here. Smell's still hanging open, very, very tired.
You can see him moving, but his legs are having some trouble doing what his brain's telling them to do, and it's got to be from that punishment in that 4th round.
Right now, his strategy is just to hope Gary walks into a big punch, maybe probably an uppercut just like that. And if Gary's able to avoid that and keep coming in, this could be a very good round for him.
Push Gary Kopas again, dominating the area of the center of the ring, really pushing Taylor into the corner, imposing his will.
Taylor's ready to go right now. Gary takes one step back and lands a big shot. He can put him right back on the canvas.
Taylor Bull is exhausted. Gary is just absolutely relentless.
Taylor's ready to go. The referee should really step in here. He's barely defending himself.
His hands are not even up.
This fight needs to be stopped, Joe. Taylor Bull taking everything from Gary now.
Taylor is doing anything he can to get those hands back up, but Gary is just absolutely driving forward. How Taylor has not gone down here, I can't explain it.
He's ready to go. See, once again, he'll throw 1 or 2 leads, and then he'll just try to and hope that works for him. And Gary just staying right in his grill, not letting him rest. Not giving him the rest that he desperately needs with 1.5 minutes to go in the round.
And this goes to show a guy that's got, 7 fights as a professional boxer versus a man who's boxed as many fights, as many battles as Gary Kopas. You can see that understanding of endurance and not gassing yourself too early is coming into play. But there we go, a great shot that just snapped the head back at Gary Kopas.
Gary needs to be careful because Taylor's trying to put him out with one punch and get him out of trouble. And if Gary's able to watch that and do that and keep the pressure on, you can see Taylor just wilting on the vine.
Gary looks like a lion stalking his prey, coming forward, definitely eating a few shots, but that range has been completely taken away from Taylor Bull.
Once again, Taylor Bull not answering back. Gary down on the ropes, and just pressing him, landing to the body. Taylor ready to go. The referee's watching him very, very closely, and
he's
down he
down.
goes.
That's it. Fight's over. Referee stops the fight. We have a new Western Canadian Cruiserweight champion with Gary Hocus Pocus Kopas.
Gary Kopas hanging in there, taking big uppercuts from the right and the left hands. Just fighting absolutely magnificently, showing real composure in the ring and putting it on Taylor Bull until finally he couldn't take it anymore, and he went down from a proliferation of punches. A fantastic performance by Gary Kopas, bringing the title to Saskatoon, something he said to us yesterday that he really, really wanted to do. They should be very, very proud right now of this fighter. The crowd chanting Gary Kopas, Gary Kopas. Taylor hanging his head in the ring, just utterly exhausted. And here you can see Taylor Bull just hanging down in exhaustion, really just waiting for Gary to stop punching, and Gary didn't do it, finally going down from an onslaught from Gary Kopas. The referee really could have stopped at any time during this round. Once again, Taylor Bull was going through long stretches showing no defense whatsoever, just kind of hanging down from exhaustion and letting Gary land on him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the official decision. The winner by TKO at 2 minutes and 32 seconds in the 5th round, and your new CPBC Western Canadian Cruiserweight Champion, in the red corner, Gary Hocus Pocus Kopas!
Gotta love celebrating with your team, Gary. Gary, I mean, I could ask you 100 questions, but how does it feel to be the Western Canadian Cruiserweight Champion?
Amazing. Best feeling in the world besides my family. Best feeling. I want to thank my team, first off, my friends and family for coming out, and all my new fans. It's been an awesome experience, great training camp. I couldn't do it without these guys.
It's all about the support, right? You know, and I mean, there's a few fans here showing you support with these awesome Hocus Pocus Kopas t-shirts. Now, Gary, you came off a win. You were preparing this fight. This fight obviously means a lot to you. You know, you said you're in the best shape that you've ever been in, and it showed. I mean, you walk us through these exchanges.
Well, I was just trying to work through it. I honestly didn't perform the way I wanted to, but I had to pull the old guts and glory and keep working until he had no heart left. Kept putting them together. I knew pressure was going to be the game. And I just kept trying to work the body. I didn't work the body as much as I wanted, but the head was there quite a bit. So I took a lot of uppercuts. Took me a while to figure it out. I got to dodge those first before I punch. Definitely hit me a few good ones and definitely felt it.
You know, he was really throwing those combinations, working that jab, using that range, that distance at the beginning. But the one word I gotta say I'd describe how you fought was relentless. Now, Gary, you know, there's people you gotta thank, sponsors, future sponsors, things like that. Let's let them know how you feel.
I definitely want to thank my sponsors. They really got behind me this fight. Friends and family got behind me even more so than normal. Just an awesome new team, working both gyms and learning a lot of new stuff. I used a little bit of it tonight, but there's a lot more coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for your new Western Canadian Cruiserweight Champion, Gary Kopas.